So I'm about to get real. I'm gonna just work through it as I do my makeup. So welcome to my TED Talk. So I've been really good mentally, but there's always gonna be some little things that just pop up like a slap in the face. You realize that you still have so much more healing to do than you actually thought. I was great, thought I was. And then it's like one morning I wake up, just so many things that happen in the course of one day that make me realize that life is literally crumbling around me like London bridges falling down. The gist is that I thought I was good. Like, I know I still have healing. Just the fact that there are things in everyday life that are happening that are triggers for me. I'm finding myself having like this PTSD of some of the heartache and really hard times that I went through. I'm gonna be open and I'm gonna be vulnerable, and I'm gonna say that I think that it really irks my nerves a lot when there's people who don't understand what it's like for someone to have gone through abuse in any form, whether that's emotional, mental, spiritual, financial, physical, all of the forms of abuse. It's abuse. So for the people that have gone through abuse, they understand what it's like to feel trapped, to feel like there's no way to get out. Then you have those who have never been in it, who it's so easy for them to say, you could have just left. Why didn't you just leave? You always had the option to leave. You could have just left at any moment. No, you don't understand. So for those who don't understand what it's like to be sucked in and stuck in a situation where you're a victim of abuse in any form, and you've got people that are telling you those things or pretty much invalidating the things that you went through and the things that you feel and making you feel like it's your fault. Know that it's not your fault, and what you can go back and tell them is to take some time and really do some research into something called trauma bonds. Because in addition to the things that abusers do that create these trauma bonds, they leave you with no way out, they are also master manipulators, and they know exactly what to say and exactly what to do to get you right where they want you. A quick example of that, something that I personally went through, as well as like more than 2 friends of mine have gone through something literally verbatim, like word for word, is being told things about your character that you know are not true, but eventually you start to believe because they're drilled into you. They're said over and over and over again. So you've got someone sitting there constantly preaching loyalty to you, telling you things like you're not loyal, things like they're way more loyal than you are. So they're sitting there telling you that you're not loyal, you're not as loyal to them as they are to you. Then in your mind, you're thinking, oh, I gotta be more loyal. On top of that, they're also telling you you're a runner. They are attacking your character and putting doubt in your mind on who you are by telling you you're a runner, that you run when things get hard, that you don't know how to withstand trials and tribulations in a relationship. And that's why it's never worked out for you in the past, because you just run. You don't try to fix things. You don't try to make things work. You don't push through to get to the end, to get to the good stuff, because all you want to do is just run. So now you have it in your head, I don't want to be a runner. I'm not a runner. But most importantly, what that has done in your head has gotten you to have this mentality of, I'm going to prove him wrong, or I'm going to prove her wrong. You're calling me a runner. You're telling me I'm not loyal. I'm going to show you loyal, and I'm going to show you I'm not running. I'm not going to be a runner. I'm not going to let you be right about me. If you're listening to this right now and you feel like there's been either someone in your past that has made you feel this way or said these things to you, or you feel like you might be in the current moment dealing with someone who is a narcissist or dealing with an abuser of any form, the best thing you can do is to find someone to talk to, someone that can help explain things to you, but also be able to put things in a perspective, just so that you know, like, you're not alone. That there's a lot of people that have gone through this and that go through this, and no 2 stories are the same, that you're gonna get through it. Most importantly, you need to know that it's not your fault. And then if you also believe that you might be dealing with a narcissist, I would highly recommend a book called When Love Hurts, Loving a Narcissist. There's so many different books out there and different resources and self-help books and things that are like extremely insightful, very informative. Also, things to help you heal. I just started a book called Psychopath Free, and so far it has been amazing. And that one is all about healing after being in an abusive situation. But I'll also say this, don't let anybody silence you. When you know the things that you went through are not okay, there's gonna be people that'll tell you like you had faults too. And obviously we all have faults, but it comes to a point where you understand that the faults that they had and the things that you went through are not just like normal faults. No one should have to go through any of that. So basically, in short, don't blame yourself. Don't let others make you believe that you're to blame. Put those people in their place when they try to tell you that you could have left sooner or you should have left sooner or why are you still in it, you need to leave now. Make them go educate themselves on trauma bonds and different ways that you are emotionally invested and connected because you were so manipulated. 2 books about narcissists that one I've finished, one I'm on. Super helpful, insightful, informative books. When Love Hurts, Loving a Narcissist. The second one is Psychopath Free. And then this one that I have not started yet, but I had a life coach who was amazing. This is the book she recommended. It's called How to Do the Work by Dr. Nicole LaPera. She said that that one is by far the best self-help book that she has ever read. And don't make the mistake that I did, thinking that you really don't have any healing or that you will be so relieved to be out of the situation that you can be happy and live your life and not have to worry about healing because you feel free. But then like a slap in the face, it hits you like you're not done healing. You have a lot of healing left to do. So I think that the book Psychopath Free is really going to be helpful in that. Oh, and I mentioned my life coach. Something super important. My life coach was somebody who really helped me towards the end of my marriage. There was an instance where over the phone I got called and was being yelled at and screamed at. The way that I was spoken to was not okay. And yet I stayed on the phone and I listened to it. And when I spoke to my life coach about it, she said, "Why didn't you hang up?" I was like, "Because it would have made things worse." What do you mean? Like, I couldn't have hung up the phone. I had to just listen and be yelled at. And she said, "He does that because you allow him to." And the next thing she said to me is something that has like literally changed my life. It is something that has stuck with me, and it's the simplest words, but it carries so much weight. And what she told me was, you teach people how to treat you. You teach people how to treat you. So simple, but yet means so much. Like, that is so big and life-changing to hear and to realize, like, I need to apply that in my life with healthy boundaries. So like, the healthy boundaries are not just in-person things. It's if you're yelling at me on the phone, I'm gonna hang up, because that's for my own mental wellness. So teaching someone how to treat you, for them to understand that, hey, what you're doing is not okay with me and I'm not gonna stand for it. And then eventually they understand that they can't do this because they're not gonna get the outcome that they want. So when you stand your ground in teaching people how to treat you, you're protecting your emotional well-being. That's all for now.